As far as theropod dinosaurs go, Giganotosaurus has to be one of the most iconic, even more so because of its appearance in 2022's Jurassic World Dominion. But as you could probably guess, its portrayal in that movie, design-wise, is quite a bit different to our real-life interpretation of the actual animal. So once again, we will be taking a look at the movie version and comparing it to its real-life counterpart and see what's different between the two of them. As a little bit of a bonus, because it was requested, I will also be throwing in the Jurassic World Evolutions Giganotosaurus at the end of this video and kind of see how it holds up compared to these two after I'm done comparing these two. You know, just as a little bonus. So first we'll start off with the size. The Giganotosaurus in Jurassic World Dominion is quite a bit bigger than the real-life version of the animal. At least, to our current understanding. We don't have too much fossil material of Giganotosaurus anyway, so size estimations sometimes vary. But it is shown to be quite big to our current estimations. We'll go ahead and start off with the head. So in Dominion, it's portrayed as a little bit more triangular and kind of, just pointed in general towards the snout with a thinner snout. In life, it would have had a kind of a rounder snout with a pretty large chin. Like, I've heard it called a giga chin before, which fits, that fits the name. It's also shown with a crest that goes past the eyes. As far as I know, the current interpretation of Giganotosaurus is that it has a crest that goes before the eyes and ends there, and kind of has a ridge on the snout. It's also shown with kind of crocodilian interlocking teeth in Dominion, very reminiscent of a V-Rex from 2005's King Kong. Now, I know that there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to lips on theropod dinosaurs. Recently, there was a paper done that seems to be heavily in favor for lips on theropod dinosaurs, and, right now it's kind of like a it depends on who you ask type situation. For me, I think that lips are incredibly likely. I've always been an advocate for lips, so to me, that's a difference between the movie version and the real-life version. Lips just make sense to me. So, yeah, the Dominion version has no lips. Real-life version probably had lips. I know that there's still a debate, but it probably did. Moving on to the body, it's shown as being a little bit thicker, of course, in proportion to its body size, so that probably makes sense. In life, it was probably a thick animal, let's be honest, so honestly that's not really too far off. The biggest difference is the row of osteoderms on top. This is something that Jurassic World has started to do with their theropods. They started to add osteoderms, kind of giving them like a crocodilian-like back. Osteoderms are something that don't appear on dinosaurs too frequently. Now, if you don't know, osteoderms are bones that grow in the skin. A good example of osteoderms today are in crocodiles and alligators. The scutes on their back, those are osteoderms. And of course, there are dinosaurs with osteoderms, like the ankylosaurs or Stegosaurus, or to give a theropod example, Ceratosaurus. We don't really have evidence of osteoderms in Giganotosaurus or most other theropod dinosaurs. So of course this is a difference, especially with the kind of Godzilla spike-like osteoderm. These osteoderms really make it kind of look like Acrocanthosaurus, and its skull shape too. Very, very reminiscent of Acrocanthosaurus. But other than that, there's really not too many other big striking differences with the rest of the body, other than it being kind of, thicker than it probably would have been in life. The arms are correctly shown with 3 fingers, and if I'm correct, are shown being held inwards in a clapping motion, which is what theropod dinosaurs are able to do. Like, most theropod dinosaurs are unable to turn their wrists downwards, like how you often see them in most paleo media. Rather, they could only hold them inwards. That's literally the only articulation they can do. So those are the biggest differences that I can see. Other things I could potentially point out would just boil down to nitpicking, so I'll go ahead and leave it there. Now let's bring in the third contender into all of this, the Jurassic World Evolution's Giganotosaurus. Because if you didn't know, Jurassic World Evolution actually did have Giganotosaurus in their game before Dominion came out. And so, because of that, its design is quite different. And actually, its design is a lot more reminiscent to our interpretation of the actual animal. Its skull shape definitely matches the real-life dinosaur skull, which is a huge plus to me, with it being a lot more rounded and having a slightly bigger chin than what it was portrayed in the movie. However, it is shown with a few spikes on its neck. This is something that we really don't have any evidence for, but really that's the biggest difference when it comes to this design and the real-life animal. It has pretty good arms with the arms facing the correct way, and a very good typical theropod body shape that we're probably used to by this point. And I've heard several people say that they don't like the Jurassic World evolution Giganotosaurus, like the first one, before they brought in the new skin variant for it. Personally, I always liked it because it gave you that kind of naturalistic look to Giganotosaurus, but also took a few creative liberties with the spikes. And it also has its teeth exposed. Again, I am a huge advocate for lips, so for me that's a difference to the real life animal. I just think it's likely. So again, that's another difference to it. But if we're looking at which one is more accurate, it's definitely the Jurassic World evolution one. But it's not really a competition. The point of all of this is just to educate about the real animal, and those are the 3 looks of Giganotosaurus, 2 of which from the Jurassic franchise, 1 of which from the Earth franchise. But yeah, that is the Giganotosaurus. That's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have an awesome day.